This is a story of the voyage of the SS Sturdy Beggar. The Sturdy Beggar is named after a ship in the 1800s, the clipper ship. And in our salon, we had a picture of the original clipper ship under full sail. Well, a C2 type ship is over 400 feet long, has a crew of 69 merchant marine people, and about 20 Navy merchant and Navy guards, and they are there to man the 5-inch gun we had on the stern, the 3-inch gun we had on the bow, and we had several 20-millimeter guns for anti-aircraft fire. But we loaded up with 6,000 tons of ammunition, with bombs and artillery shells and all kinds of explosives. And we joined a convoy of about 100 ships. And for entertainment on the ship, we had a record player that played 78 records, which were the only kind of records at that time. And somebody left all the records but one sitting on a chair. And the first day out, we got in a roll, and all of the records broke except the one on the turntable. So for 6 weeks, all we had for entertainment was the Mills Brothers singing, "I Want to Buy a Paper Doll," and that got tiring after a while. Well, our position in the convoy was 3-3, which meant we were the third ship over and the third ship back. Now, usually in the wartime, they controlled the ship on the flying bridge. Now, the flying bridge is on the roof of the pilot house. And up there, they have a steering wheel and a compass and a controller to talk to the engine room with. But they're all out in the open. But one night, it was raining and stormy, and the sea was rough. We were rolling and pitching, so the fellas came down into the pilot house. Well, the radio room where I worked was just around the corner of the pilot house. So I went into the pilot house, I was talking to the captain, and I said, "How do you control where you are when you're pitching and rolling and it's dark and raining? How do you know when it becomes daylight that you're in the right position?" The captain says, "Well, usually it is difficult." But he says, "Look over the bow and see that little bitty light shining there?" And I said, "Yes." He said, "That is a stern light on 3-2, which is the ship ahead of us." And I, being a dumb 19-year-old radio operator, not knowing you don't talk back to the captain, I said, "Captain, are you absolutely sure that that light is 3-2? And he said, "Well, certainly, that's 3-2. I said, "Would you mind if I called him on the high-frequency radio and confirm that?" He says, "No, you're wasting your time, but go ahead." So I called on the radio, 3-2, "Are you showing a stern light?" And a voice came back, "This is 3-2, no, we are not showing a stern light." And another voice came on, "This is 2-2, we're showing a stern light," which meant that was the next column over, and here we're loaded with 6,000 tons of ammunition. Well, the fellow on the bow hollered down the intercom, "Captain, there's a tanker loaded with high-test gasoline that we're about to run into." So we changed our course a little bit. We didn't hit the tanker, thank goodness. So, going across the rest of the time, things were pretty smooth, not much trouble. But going into Southampton, England, we stringed the convoy out in the single file, and it was foggy. We couldn't see a thing. And all of a sudden, the escort calls us, "Sturdy Beggar, you're going too far to the right, or to the left." And the captain says, "Steady as she goes." The escort called us again, "Sturdy Beggar, you're going too far to the right, more to the left." The captain says, I've been going in here for 25 years, and I know this city. So all of a sudden, the ship went boom, 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 and we came to a stop. And he says, slow ahead, we didn't move. Slow astern, we didn't move. And stop the engines. All of a sudden, the escort calls us, Sturdy Beggar, you're in the middle of a minefield, stop immediately. And we said, we are stopped, we're aground. Luckily, it was low tide, and when high tide came, we floated off and we were perfectly fine. And they sent out a little tug to direct us through the minefield so we didn't hit a mine and blow up. So the next day, we formed a convoy to go across the English Channel to France. Well, at this time, the Germans were putting out acoustic mines, which meant the mine stayed on the bottom, and when the ship went over, the mine would come up and blow up. Well, what the Germans did, they put a stepping relays on those mines. So going into Le Havre, France, with the minesweeper went ahead to rang a bell or something to make a noise, so the mine would come up. Nothing happened. The ship ahead of us went in, and the stern blew off the ship. But luckily, nothing happened when we went over. So we went up the Seine River to Rouen, France, which is a town in your history book, which you probably haven't studied yet, where Joan of Arc was burned at the stake hundreds of years ago. And the only place lit up on the dock area was the dock area where we were unloading ammunition. And I said to the unloading officer, don't the Germans see all this all lit up here where all the ammunition is? And he said, well, if the Germans fly over, they'll think this is just a decoy because nobody is this stupid. Well, luckily, after a day or so, we unloaded everything, and then we went out the Seine River. We went to England, loaded up ballast so the ship would ride better because it was light, and we joined the convoy, went back to the States, no trouble on the way back, and that's the story of the Sturdy Beggar.